Hello guys, how are you? Welcome in. I'm Sarah and this is Energetic Rebel. So it has been a very long time since I have come to you with a video, and I am now fully settled across the country, and I wanted to just come on here, and I've just got one deck that I'm going to be working with today. Now keep in mind, be kind, this is about, I would say, the first time I picked up a deck in almost 7 months. So I might be a little bit rusty in regards to the cards, and I might just be a little slow on delivery, but I'm going to do my best to deliver this reading post, everything that has happened in the past 7 months for myself and for all of you, and all of the changes that are currently going on in the world. There's so much change. There's so much perpetuation of the pain that lives and exists inside of each and every one of us. So if you're, in the same sort of, mode, or just the same place that I am, you will have been doing a lot of inner work, particularly towards violence towards self or violence toward others. And I don't necessarily mean physical violence, right? We're seeing the physical aggression and violence playing out in the world. And I'm not going to speak to sides. I'm not going to get political on here. But what I am going to say is that exists inside of us. So that perpetuation is coming from a place deep within each and every one of us. And so with eclipse season, and with an eclipse right around the corner just before Halloween, it's likely that you've been seeing some anger boil up, or some sadness, or some oppression, or some retaliation inside of you. And this could be bleeding out into your relationships, or just into your relationship with self-violence, self-hate talk, or putting yourself down, or getting into arguments with others, because things are literally reaching a boiling point, both within and without. So I want to make the focus of this reading how to bring peace inside of yourself, because that's the very most important thing that we can be doing right now, in my humble opinion, is to work on self, and to work on those things inside of you that likely have stemmed from your childhood, that are now bleeding out into the adult you. And then what we're seeing again on the world stage is this anger, this retaliation, this frustration, this oppression, whatever it may be, that is this rage, if you will, that is coming out. And people are taking sides, and that we've been doing this throughout the past 3.5 years, this whole situationship, right? The situation that we're in, and people are taking sides. We're pitted against each other. We're seeing it with, in America here, with, preparing for the election next year, and what is going to come of that. And you're seeing the politicians, rear their ugly heads, and the things that they're saying, they're pitting themselves against other politicians, as is always done. And we're seeing it with the cost of living increasing. And so on a very grand scale, what we're seeing is sort of what we already knew was going to happen, the destruction of what was to create what is going to be. And as I sit here and shuffle, I just want to remind you guys that what is playing out in the world, this is the shadow aspect of self, the shadow aspect of the collective, of the one. And so again, I cannot stress enough, doing the trauma work, working with somatics, where you work with the pain that lives and resides inside of your body, that's been deposited potentially generationally from your grandparents or your parents. But this could also be trauma that you've experienced just in this lifetime, whether it was in the womb, whether it was when your mother was giving birth to you, whether it was when you were given up for adoption, or whether it just was created in those first 7 years of life that has been dormant potentially and is now coming to the surface. So let's just take a look overall, and I'm going to go over to my sister channel, Energetic Rebel Astrology, and I'll be doing an astrological reading as we prepare for this full moon eclipse that's coming up in a few days. But the first card to come up, which I can't say I'm surprised at all, is the Seven of Swords, okay? 7 of voices in this deck. Now the Seven of Swords comes up, and as you can see, you sort of have the light and the dark. Okay, this is the shadow that exists within each of us, and this is the light that also exists within each of us. The shadow of the whole world, of the self, of the collective, and then the light of the collective. And they do a really good job in this deck of showing you that within yourself is this sort of this hallway, if you will, that leads towards salvation. It leads to a place of peace and harmony without conflict, without violence. But, you know, should you choose to take the other road, what you see here is you see this very angry, bitter person who, as you can see, is full of resentment and full of potential, you know, what I see to be self-hate and loathing. And it's the discovery of self and finding that balance between the light and the dark. And if you've done any shadow work, or potentially you're working on shadow work now, one of the things that you will see coming up with shadow work is that it's not fucking easy, okay? It's not easy at all. As many of you know, I recently got married 3 months ago, a little over 3 months ago now, and I'm approaching my birthday, my 44th birthday, a very special birthday, in fact, for me, astrologically speaking, and a very auspicious number, 44, for me personally as well. And you know, potentially that is an auspicious number for many of you watching. And as I approach this birthday and knowing what has occurred over the past 2 years, individually and then of course collectively, I'm seeing this as sort of, it's like the birthright, the rite of passage. And many people have asked, you know, did you marry your twin? And as many of you know, I dropped that label over a year ago, about a year and a half ago. So to answer that question, did I marry that person? No, I married another person that came into my life after that person. And this individual is an amazing teacher. This individual, my husband, is an amazing teacher, and we're teaching each other. But what's happening during that process is inevitably, right, when you're in a close relationship and you're being your true authentic self, is the shadow is going to come up. The shadow is going to rear its ugly head. And that's what's happening and transpiring for so many people right now, and for me individually. So I've been doing a lot of shadow work, and the world is doing shadow work right now. We are picking and choosing our path. What is the pathway to salvation? What is the pathway to redemption? Well, it's almost like we had to fall to this place where things got really dark and really scary in order to get to this place of salvation, in order for the light to win, in order for the powers that be, whether that be, you know, in politics, whether that be just the powers, you know, of, oh my gosh, like what rules our life, you know, social media, for instance, influencers, that sort of thing, any sort of dynamic that has caused us pain, that has caused us separation, which is essentially the way in which we're living in today's world. Well, that has to come crumbling down. But first, we all have to explore and face the shadow side within self. So let's see if we can get a card to clarify the Seven of Swords. Can you please clarify the Seven of Swords here for my viewers? And thank you so much for tuning in. If you wouldn't mind, guys, please give this video a like and share and subscribe to receive information notifications when I do post, as I will be posting regularly now on both of my channels. I would greatly appreciate that. I don't have an active website right now, but what I can do is if you'd like a personal reading, I do love readings. I actually specialize in life path and career readings. And I can also, like I said, do love readings or just general readings if you have questions on any aspect of life. I do offer those personal readings. That is now open, and now would be the time to get in because I'm wide open, as I've just opened those doors again. You can reach out to me at theenergeticrebel@gmail.com, and I'll put that in the link below for you. So we've got the Four of Cups coming up to clarify the Seven of Swords. So the Four of Cups comes up to clarify this pain, this turmoil, this destruction energy, right, that is playing out in the collective. We have to destroy in order to create. Destruction breeds creation, as my favorite band, the Red Hot Chili Peppers, say in their lyrics, Scar Tissue. Destruction breeds creation. You can't have one without the other. You have to have, both are going to exist on the same plane, sort of like the shadow and the light. You can't have one without the other. You can't be all light and no shadow, or all shadow and no light. That's why you might hear a very wise sage or a teacher. You might have heard them tell you, I don't believe, and this is not, I'm not speaking personal beliefs. That's not what I need to do on this channel. This is just the belief of potentially that sage teacher, or who knows, maybe it was yourself or a friend, but you might have heard somebody say, you know what? There is no pure evil, right? There is no pure evil. There is only There's light and dark in each of us. It exists. That propensity exists within each of us. That potential exists within each of us. And I think this is, Four of Cups can indicate boredom or discontent, but I think it's deeper than that. I think what's happening right now is this utter disillusionment with the world, with society, with self, where people over the past 3.5 years, almost 4 years, have been questioning, what the heck is going on? I thought I knew what this world was. I thought I knew what this meant. I thought I knew who I was or what I wanted to do or why this happened. But now I'm questioning everything. Disillusionment, discontent, which can definitely breed boredom within self. And of course, when you're bored, what do, right? Idle hands are the devil's playground. So when you're bored, how is that playing out in the world at large? Well, it's playing out in this immense separation where we're being asked to take sides. And I feel like we can overcome this. And I feel like we have to overcome this, because if you're coming at this from a place of discontent and boredom and disillusionment, and you stay and you sit in that place, because we're never meant to sit in one place. We're meant to be, we're diverse beings, and we're also dynamic beings. So we're meant to progress. We're meant to shift and grow and evolve and change. And we're not meant to stay in this place. But what's happening is there's a lot of depression, anxiety. There's a lot of fear. There's a lot of programming that's being dismantled at this time on this planet. The programming where we thought we knew what was. We thought we knew the truth. And now people are going, I don't know what my truth is. I don't know what the truth is. I don't know anything. So to me, this is at the heart of the Four of Cups is, I don't know anything. And that's scary. And that is a loss of identity or a loss of self that you might be experiencing right now that could cause you to feel just completely unhinged, honestly, or if not unhinged, just separate from yourself, separate from your truth, separate from the ultimate truth. Now I'm going to go deeper into the eclipse on my sister channel, but let's go ahead and let's see what is coming up with this full moon lunar eclipse. What is coming up? New moons always coincide with solar eclipses, and full moons always coincide with lunar eclipses. So we just had that solar eclipse in the sign of Libra, partnership within self, the masculine, the feminine, the balancing act, the ultimate balancing act within self, so that we can play that out in the world. The masculine energy healing, the feminine energy supporting the masculine, lifting up, exposing the truth, even if that comes at a cost. So we can bring back the balance to society, both within self and externally. So it's like the cards do not want to convey the secret of this eclipse. It's a lunar eclipse. So lunar is this sort of feminine quality, the lunar, the moon, right? The lunar nighttime and excuse me, secretive, secrets, the veil, right? The veil between the worlds. To me, this is everything that the word lunar conveys. It conveys maybe a shield or covering, a facade even sometimes. So what is this lunar eclipse going to bring up? Well, we've got the Knight of Cups. So interesting. We've got one sword card and two cups cards. So we're going deep into the emotions, guys. We're going deep into our emotions here. The Knight of Cups comes up as this very confident stallion. He's making splashes. He's playful. He's very wise and aware. Okay. He's aware of his surroundings. He's aware of his next move and his next step. I feel like this lunar eclipse is going to awaken the beast inside of you. It's going to awaken your senses. It's going to bring you back to the heart of the matter. What really truly matters to you right here and right now. And I don't know what that is. A reading could clarify that, or maybe for you it's meditation. Maybe for you it's somatic work, going deep into the body and reassembling your nervous system. Maybe it just means taking some time off. But that cups energy can be unruly, right? Because it's the feminine energy. It can be the energy of a thunderstorm, of a storm. It can be the energy of the unraveling, which is scary to the unhealed masculine. But when you have the healed masculine presence, right, in front of you or in the world, out in the world, when you have that energy in front of you, that healed masculine stands there and holds space for that feminine to unravel. And that's really what we're seeing right now, is the rise of the healed masculine energy. Now, you know, one of the reasons I stepped back from the label and the twin flame community was I saw a lot of deception occurring at many levels. And I also felt like the label felt so incredibly restricting, I guess is the right word. It felt like restricting for self, restricting for others. And I got to the place, and my clients will tell you this, the clients that I was working with at the time, where I did not feel like who am I to tell you who your twin flame is? Who is anybody to tell you who your love is, who your soulmate is, who you should be with, or why? You have to discover that within yourself, because you are the magician. You have the power. You have always had the power. And that's how I work with clients. And part of my transformation over the past year and a half, since really disconnecting from the twin flame community and even from my own business and the form in which it was in, was for me to come to that place, that realization, that humbling of, I don't know anything. I know, you know, it's like the master says, I know nothing. The student says, I know everything. I don't know anything. And I'm not calling myself a master by any means. I'm just saying that in order to really, truly learn, and I felt like, particularly at that juncture in my journey and the juncture of the journey I was having with my business and my clients, was to empower the clients to make their decisions, to empower the clients to come to that place themselves. And a lot of my clients did come to that place, and they came to me maybe later and said, hey, I was triggered initially, but now I've totally detached from the label. I've met someone new. I've gotten married like myself. And it's so interesting that I'm still getting the question of, did you marry your twin flame? Totally. Questions welcomed. No problem with that. I just, my answer to that is I married my highest partner and the person that was going to help me evolve the most. And that was not the former individual. So whatever that might be, however that might look, it's not for me to say if, you know, you're with your twin flame or you're meant to be with your twin flame. I don't know. And I'm confident in saying I don't know. What I do know is that you have the power to change your life. You have the power to change your mind and your mindset. You have the power to change your beliefs and to change your worldview. You have the power to lift yourself up. You have the power to make the decision to do what's best for you. Nobody can tell you what that is. So when I work with clients, particularly in terms of life path, career path, just discovery, self-discovery, my intention is always to lift you up to the place where you are so confident to make those decisions. You are confident and you know that the decision that I'm going to make is going to bring me to the next level of self. So this Knight of Emotions comes through. The thing about the Knight of Emotions is that, again, because he is and I'm just going to refresh my memory here. I'm just checking out the book. Yeah, I mean, it's this sort of flirtatious energy. It's like this eclipse that's coming up is going to bring with it potentially some flirtatious energy within yourself, maybe just a lighter energy, maybe energy that has been trapped that's now able to be freed. And that energy can carry you forward, can propel you forward into the next version of yourself. For some of you, I feel like this means a new relationship. And I'm going to go into this more. I don't want to spend too much time on the astrology because I have the separate channel for that. But it's interesting because there's an excitement that's brewing. And I feel like that's always the way with eclipses, right? Like there's the excitement of the eclipse. There's also the trepidation, the fear, the anxiety of what's going to be ripped out from underneath me. Because eclipses ultimately bring change. A door closes and a door opens. But just wanted to do a little glance into the eclipse. Now, let's look into career path here. And I know we're covering a lot of bases. And again, be patient with me as I step back into this role of tarot card reader because I'm a little rusty. I've been out of it for a couple months, purposefully, FYI. And life path. Well, you're being told that this is the end. Okay, perfect. This is definitely a message for maybe a select few individuals. You're going to know if this resonates. The 10 of Wands. Okay, 10 of Wands, 10 of Inspiration in this deck. Tedious work, laborful work, work that you may have felt you had to do alone without any assistance, without any help. And yet you see the magic here. The 10 says there's an ending coming. There's an ending. And with that ending, you want to be careful and be mindful not to disillusion yourself, not to throw, not to just accept what is at face value. Look deeper, because there's going to be some hidden insights that are coming up for you at this time. You know, we're heading into Halloween season, right? We're already there, right? For fuck's sake, they have Christmas lights, you know, Christmas stuff already up. Can we just get through Halloween, please? Thank you. Can we take it one holiday at a time? But with Halloween season comes revelations, and it also comes the darkness, right? The darkness, the veil is lifted. As the veil is lifted here, as the time changes here, at least in, you know, different time codes, we have a time change, which is really annoying, but it's great this time of year because we gain an extra hour. So that happens, I think, the weekend of November 4th, November 5th. Usually used to happen around Halloween, which is really cool, but now it happens later. I don't know why they do that bullshit, but what is going to happen is with that lunar eclipse right around Halloween, it actually was on Halloween in 2020, I believe it was. Yeah, it was on Halloween, which was my birthday, which was intense. So intense. But you're going to see the truth. And you're going to see, again, 10 is an ending of a vicious cycle, an ending of not necessarily a vicious cycle, but a painful cycle, guys. The 10 of Wands, it's painful. What's interesting is that the precedent card, the 9 of Wands, is victory, victorious, like standing your ground, not giving up. The 10 of Wands is like, hey, we made it. We made it through that uphill battle. We made it to the other side, but on the other side, you've got this moon that's like, I might commit a little fuckery here. I might, you know, try to fuck with your head a little bit. You want to be strong. There's so much temptation right now to attach to the shadow side. There's this temptation, this desire even to get to the heart of the matter. And that's, for some of you, it's like, I'm going deep. I'm going balls deep into the darkness, right? Into the heart of darkness. I'm going into that shadow self, and I'm not coming out until the work is done. And that's really what needs to be done in a safe container. But for others of you, this indicates that something really phenomenal is happening on the other side of this. And let's see, what is on the other side of the 10 of Wands for this group of individuals? Beautiful. Well, you've got material success, the 3 of Pentacles. It indicates that you're going to be working with other people in order to create and facilitate success. What it also indicates is that the 9 of Cups is wish fulfillment. So wish fulfillment, some of you have been dreaming of creating a business or being able to find the right people to help you lift your business off the ground, whether that's people that you're going to hire, whether that's people that just friends that come in, whether that's friends of friends that come in to give you advice, or just people that you run into, strangers even, I feel like for some of you, that are going to come in and be able to really help and dictate, not dictate, but help you share their story. This is how I achieved success. This is what I did. This is what you could be doing differently. So on the other side of this really painful cycle, it was a cycle. And I think for some of you, it was a long cycle, like decade-long cycle. On the other side of this is that wish fulfillment. Now, could this be in matters of the heart? It could be, because we have the Knight of Cups. So it definitely could indicate that for some of you, this is success in the realm of love. But for others of you, it could be love and career or life path, or it could be one or the other. Again, I'm reading for the masses, so if you want a private reading, you can definitely obtain that. But I tend to pick up on different groups here and the energy of different groups. 3 of Pentacles is a fantastic card because it's working together to achieve the ultimate goal, the ultimate success, and it's having the humility to say, I need help and I can't do this alone. In particular, I'm talking to you guys, Taurus South Node. Okay, because Taurus was all like, if you're a Taurus South Node, Scorpio North Node, okay? Taurus is, I do it myself. I'll do everything myself. I'll get my hands dirty. I don't need help. Scorpio North Node is like, bring it on. I want the help. So particularly that strong Taurus, which my husband is a Taurus, by the way, and he's also Scorpio North Node. So that strong Taurus energy, I would say if you have Mercury in Taurus, Sun in Taurus, rising Taurus, most definitely. Even your moon in Taurus to a lesser degree, but that South Node in Taurus, be mindful of this lunar eclipse, because what's going to come in for you, I'm feeling like, is the potential and possibility of working with some very talented people, or just even collaborating with some very talented people, but you have to be open to receiving. I'm going to end this reading on that note, guys. I'm so happy to be back. Thank you so much for being here. Again, please like, share, subscribe. And if you want a personal reading, you can reach out to me at the email listed below. And go on over and check out my sister channel, Energetic Rebel Astrology. I'll be posting an astrology video on there later today. And I'm going to be talking in more detail about the eclipse and about winter equinox. Have a beautiful, blessed day, guys. Take care. I'll see you soon.